5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen and in-betweeners, on this week's On the Rocks Live from Home Edition, we welcome Grammy-nominated, multi-Billboard chart topper, and GLAAD ambassador, Ty Herndon. And me, your favorite host with the sassy most. Raise a glass and let the drinks begin.
Thank you for being
Boulevard.
Life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death.
I'd like to propose a toast.
This is On the Rocks with Alexander, where I drink with your favorite celebrities as we talk about fashion, entertainment, pop culture, reality TV, and, well, that's about it. So pop a cork, lean back, and raise a glass to On the Rocks.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Lord have mercy, buns and bows and pantyhose, On the Rocks podcast, the place where we're too glam to give a damn. Disney World has opened up, proving that they will not be happy until they have killed everybody's parents, i.e. Bambi, The Lion King, Tarzan, Cinderella, and I cannot wait to ride the rides again, like Peter, Pandemic. It's a smallpox world. How about 6 feet of Space Mountain? Okay, stay home. You don't need to go to Disney World. Today's show is presented by the Funky Clothing Company with striped retro slim fit and more shirts available in fabulous patterns, caps that's actually mean casual clothes if you can believe it. Go to thefunkyco.com. Perfect fashion for quarantine. Surprise your mailman while you're walking to the mailbox or mail person, with a sexy little outfit. This show is brought to you by Straw Hut Media. You can watch and or listen to every one of our over 200 episodes at ontherocksradioshow.com. Hello to our listeners around the nation on iHeartRadio, Stitcher, TuneIn, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, Pandora. And if you want to watch the video, catch us on YouTube, Gay Binge TV, and on the Facebook pages of Now Trending, GED Magazine, I Love Gay LGBT, and of course on the Rocks Radio Show Facebook. And we are streaming on Roku at outat.tv and Kingman Productions. Add and subscribe to us on your favorite platform. Like us on Twitter and Instagram at On The Rocks On Air. Send me an email, book me for a wedding, funeral, quinceañera, bris. I don't care. I will zoom in and show up. I am registered as well. Send us an email, info@ontherocksradioshow.com. Send us your questions, comments, and nudes if they're good. Okay, let me welcome our guest, the man of the hour. He took a little time to get here, but he is here, ladies and gentlemen. Ty Herndon, having a career spanning 2 decades, a Grammy nomination, 20 Billboard charted singles, and 5 million albums sold. No signs of slowing down, thank God. And for those that know him, his passion and commitment to music is not surprising. As a live performer, he gained popularity while playing the honky tonks in Texas. And in 1993, he was named Texas Entertainer of the Year. That honor led to interest from Music Row and record deal with Epic Records. And he made his chart debut in 1995 with What Mattered Most, which became his #1 song and garnered a Song of the Year award. And between 1995 and 2002, he charted 17 singles. 2010 released his first songwriting album, Journey On, which received critical acclaim and a Grammy nomination, and his first Dove Award nomination and win. Shortly after, in 2014, he was the first major male country artist to publicly come out as gay. Thank you, Jesus! We got one. Shortly after, he made history when he hosted the first of its kind country music event titled The Concert for Love and Acceptance. The event, designed to bring attention and support to at-risk youth and acceptance, received national attention from Boston Globe, Rolling Stone, Entertainment Tonight, and more. Ty has also donated his time to organizations such as the Trevor Project, Make-A-Wish, St. Jude, GLAAD, HRC, and Feed the Children. His recent digital project with GLAAD, his Concert for Love and Acceptance, was the first ever partnership with the Academy of Country Music's charitable arm, ACM, Lifting Gives. And y'all can still watch it with an all-started cast with Kristen Chenoweth, hello, Tanya Tucker, Matt Bomer, Rita Wilson, CMT's Cody Allen, and a slew of your favorite musicians. Please welcome Ty Herndon. Woo-hoo!
Thank you, my friend. You almost made me sound really famous. Thank you so much.
Well, girl, you are famous for many different reasons. I will tell you, the range of messages I got, ask Ty this, ask Ty this. And, some of it was very professional and some of it was not so professional. Like,
I've been around a while. I've been all around the world.
So let's just put this to rest. You were supposed to have been on the show a couple of weeks ago, and misfortune just overcame you. You had a really crappy day.
It was a really crappy day. I got my truck stolen, and it was my brand new. I'm a cowboy in this truck. yes, I'm a gay man and a proud gay man, but I'm also still a little bit of a cowboy, you know. So I woke up that morning. I was like, somebody stole my freaking truck, and I will give it to the Metro Police Department here with all the stuff that's been going on around the country. They were amazing, and it was about just last week that they called me up and said, "We found your truck, man."
They found it.
They found it with 5 bullet holes.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So you know, I just got it. I just got it from the police impound today. It is headed to my poor little baby. She's headed over to. Oprah says never fall in love with your car, but she don't know about a man in his truck. So man in his tailgate. We'll say that. All right.
Well, you know, girl. Well, I think I saw that movie once. Anyway, but you know that whole experience is going to be one of a song probably on your album, your new album that you're working on while in quarantine. You know,
man. It's so funny because I woke up this last week when they found the truck. It was so interesting because my management said, "Can we, when you release a new album, can we get your truck stolen again?" Because we were like, you know, E.T.
Everybody,
even on the Fox. We were all there.
Fox and Friends.
Yes.
So I just want to talk about, you know, Ty, when you look at your career, there's so much to it. And you started very, very young. You were a cast member at Opryland at the young age of 17.
I was.
I have to ask you, what professional things did you learn at 17 from that experience that still sticks with you today? Any elements of the professional world that you still adhere to?
Absolutely, man. I learned to be a performer there because I grew up in the church. I've been singing since I was 6 years old. My grandma went to heaven at 99 years old with her Martin guitar in her hand and her rocking chair. But you know, I came from a grandmother that said you put 1,000 hearts on the table and all you see is 1,000 hearts. That's the family that I grew up in. So you know, always affirming. But yeah, I learned. I went from the church to which was. For me, I almost said something. No, I'll go ahead and say it. It's 9 o'clock. I went from the church to country music, where I was going to burn in hell. Mm-hmm. So, but I was going to burn in hell for other reasons, you know. As I found out later. Yeah,
which we all found out later.
Yes, but I'm so happy to tell my kids out there today that that may be watching, may watch this later. You're not broken, man. You're not. The only thing you're going to burn is if you put your hand on the barbecue grill. You know, you're perfectly beautiful and made just the way you are. And I love going out and talking to these kids and letting them know that they're not broken, man. So, but back to your question, yeah, I learned to be this awesome performer there. And so many things happened. Number one, which we'll talk about later, I met Kristen Chenoweth, and so many of my Leanne Rhymes, so many of my dear friends today that actually started working in theme parks. But I actually left the theme park to go do a show called Star Search. Which
yes, you did. Yes, I
don't know about me.
You won the very first season.
Well, I didn't. Sam Harris, who's a 3-time Emmy-winning.
We love Sam. He's been on the show many times.
My dear friend, he actually whooped my ass in the last. We came down to toe to toe. But Sam went on to do great things. Sawyer Brown was on that year. Rosie O'Donnell. Oops, that's my mom. Sorry, let me turn her off.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, come on. She was checking because I just did my COVID test this week, and by the grace of God, I'm fine.
Thank God.
Yes, and so back to you get me at 9 o'clock, you get a chatter this time.
Yes.
So I ended up going to do Star Search, and I came back to Nashville, and I was. Unlike Sawyer Brown, I did not get a record deal, but I left a band that I was working with at Opryland at the time called the Tennessee River Boys. And once I left, this dude named Marty Rowe took my place, and they became Diamond Rio, which was 5-time CMA duo group of the year. And so I was like, why did I leave that band? And wow. So I ended up going to Texas, where I won Entertainer of the Year, and success started happening. So
now, being on a show like Star Search, it's such a different format than what you were used to, and that was kind of the start of like reality TV. Do you think reality TV programs, do you think they're good for musicians? We've had a number of people on the show from American Idol, from America's Got Talent. Do you think it's a positive experience?
That's a great question. I used to, before this horrible demon from hell pandemic happened, and this just about shut our entertainment industry down. I used to say, you come to Nashville, and I tell my kids this, I'm like, you come to Nashville and you just be the best that you can be, the best songwriter, the best singer, and really study hard. And now I've had to kind of reframe that, because you can't do that right now. So you can still study hard. You can still be the best at your craft. But the reality shows have launched some pretty major stars. Ray Lynn, Carrie Underwood, and the list goes on. Not all into superstardom, but it's certainly given careers to some amazing singers. And just tonight on America's Got Talent, there was a young man that's, and I'm blanking on his name right now. I just met him today, and he came out on America's Got Talent, and he's a Texas guy. And hold on a second, we're all lax tonight. Hold on a second, I want to call his name out, because he was amazing, and he did an incredible job. And even Simon Cowell liked him. So yeah, and I can't find it right now because I can't multitask. So go look it up. Tonight. So I was tweeting about him earlier. So.
Okay, so we can see on your tweet that we will follow up definitely. We have to support.
My pen was not working. There we go. I have a Facebook page, and his name is Cameron Ross. So
Cameron Ross.
Yeah. Yes.
There you go.
Very handsome fellow.
Very handsome.
He debuted tonight. Texas guy, LGBTQ artist, and he did a great job. Kind of George Jones kind of singer. So
you know what? We are gonna reach out to him and see about having him on the show.
That'd be great. Cameron with a K.
Of course. And of course. Cameron with a K. Yeah. I want to meet a Karen with a C. Like, that would be like the Karen of all Karens.
the poor good Karens in this world. I always feel bad.
You know what's funny? I have never met one good Karen. I mean, that's awful to say. My apology to the good Karens out there. But I'm like, every Karen I know has been a pretty big B.
I'm gonna go on the other side of that. I have a couple of great Karens.
Good. Well, they have a lot of work. They have a lot of work cut out for them.
They do. They're carrying the load.
I want to talk about your debut album. It becomes its big hit, biggest first week shipment in the history of Epic Records. Talk of the Town. When did you kind of realize that life was going to change for you? And the follow-up to that is, what kind of pressure did you feel after that for any music that you created after?
It all happened so fast. I wasn't even thinking about pressure, because at the time, if we want to be really honest with you, which all full disclosure for me today, I was battling a horrible drug addiction at the time.
I did not know that.
I just feel like that, I've got a book coming in this next year, finally. And it's kind of Oprah meets the Kardashians a little bit.
Oh my God, I love that. You've just made all of our gay listeners' dreams. Ty, Oprah, and the Kardashians. Could we get any better?
Yeah, full disclosure is like, do I really want to go there? But yes, I mean, in order to change hearts and minds, you got to go full disclosure. So, but yeah, I wish that on an Entertainment Tonight piece, I said to my friend that was interviewing me, I said, I wish that I could tell you I could remember a lot of my success back then. But truly, if you talk to any addict, it's you have to go really deep into the dead brain cells.
Yeah.
To find those memories. And I've been able to kind of do that and reframe them and embrace them, that I had a very successful time back then, but I was suffering so much that I didn't want to live. And there were times that in the book that I'll talk about that, that those attempts were taken to not be here on this earth. Wow. And that's what I reach into when I talk to the kids, because I know we're having a lot of fun here, but the suicide rate around the world for kids under 14 is stupid. And so I feel when we started the Foundation for Love and Acceptance, our whole thing is about raising resources to educate these kids and to let them know that they were worthy, they're amazing, and that the family you may have at home that doesn't like you and doesn't love you, there is a family that will.
That's exactly right.
There has to be resources for those kids to know that, to reach out to them. So that's what the Foundation for Love and Acceptance is all about. And we also added an arm to it this year because the Nashville community has been hit so hard. I've got some affirming, amazing musician friends in this town. I didn't want to see one more for sale sign on my street.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's just like, we live over in East Nashville. And it was like, just such an eclectic, beautiful neighborhood of so many wonderful people that were hurting. So we added an arm this year with the Academy of Country Music with Lifting Lives to support our musician friends. So, because hey, there's no tour buses running right now. There's no arenas filled with people, and you think about it. I've said this the other day. I've got 3 good friends that had their first #1 records during this time. And they're not getting the opportunity to know what it feels like to walk on that stage with that #1 record, with the crowd going wild. And that's a huge loss. You take the money even out of it right now. We're not even talking about that. We're talking about the foundation of what this business was built on. So, and I feel that passionately about the kids that I work with. And I know that we're going to be smart enough in this country to get our shit together that we're going to be able to fill those arenas again and get back to what we know is this beautiful life. So I am an ambassador for that, and I'm not quiet about it, as you can tell.
Well, no, and and that's very good. And it's there's so much content that's being put out there because people are at home. But you're right, it's a whole different experience, and especially from an early musician with their first kind of hit, you learn from that. You make your mistakes from that. You learn from that, as you did in your early career. And I'm hoping that we're going to come out of this kind of like, as a butterfly. We're going to have learn new skill sets as entertainment. The audience is going to be more appreciative. They're really going to be present. They're going to put their cell phones away, and they're going to enjoy being in an arena environment and just paying attention and enjoying the music.
Absolutely. I would like their internet to get back to places where I go Google things, not where I go watch Kelly and Regis. I would just age myself, Kelly and Ryan.
You sure did. You sure did. Oh God, I love Regis. I just saw him in a commercial for something. He looks pretty damn good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I was just noticing, please, Kelly and Ryan, don't get mad at me for saying this, but they're kind of like, okay, Kelly, do your hair. Okay. Yeah. You're getting a little used to no lip gloss. Okay. And then Ryan's was kind of over there, just like he just woke up. I'm like,
yeah, well,
you're still on TV.
I guarantee you, Ryan put in a few hours to look unkept like that. And with Kelly, it's like, have Mark brush your hair. My God, when Mark is prettier than you, then we got some problems.
Well, I think they're both beautiful. So yeah, I would have their babies. So it's all good.
God, girl, I would just watch. Anyway, so you started songwriting. 2010 was when you kind of released your first kind of album with your own songwriting. What is your creative process in creating a song? And I know you're actually working on stuff in quarantine today. You had a full day. What is kind of your creative process? How has it kind of changed over the years?
Well, it's interesting to write. I mean, I've got this gorgeous grand piano sitting here.
It's beautiful.
In the house. And it's interesting to sit here on the piano and what we call kind of get a face on a big screen and feel that through not being together. And I guess it's kind of expanded me a little bit. And I know that I'll be able to do that from now on. But and as we're opening back up, because I think people are doing better. I think they're starting to listen. I pray that they are. But so in a couple of weeks, we're going next week. But when I get back, I'm actually going to get back in the rooms of writing. We're going to social distance. We're going to wear our masks. But we're going to feel that energy again, because eventually we have to, right now, internet is television. What we're doing right now is television. And that's
exactly right.
I have 3 new hats. I'm executive producing. If you saw the Concert for Love and Acceptance,
yes,
I executive produced that for the first time and had a lot of control around what it looked like, the entertainers, what they sent in. And it was actually a lot of fun, to tell you the truth. I'm like, wait a minute, I have to still sing. Okay, we'll do that over there. But we're talking about some cool new projects that we're working on. There's a new album coming. There's a documentary. There's a book. And getting to work with the amazing, and I know you want to talk about this, the amazing Kristen Chenoweth, who's been my friend for a long time. Talk about taking the whole room and it becomes Chenoweth land.
Yes.
It was born that way. That's just who she is. So, She doesn't take the air in the room. She takes your air and she gives it to you.
Yeah.
It's just
she's like a bright. You cannot believe how tiny she is, and she looks, like if you sneeze, she'll blow across the room. And then this personality, and then she starts singing. It's just amazing. And you guys have a really good, long-lasting friendship.
We do. I mean, I met her briefly when we worked at Opryland, but I hadn't seen her for probably about, maybe 12, 13, 14. I don't know. I'm terrible with years,
Yeah.
I know they keep going by. I know that. But Shelley Wright took me to she was doing a Stephen Sondheim, it was 15 minutes. That's all it was. And, and there was 3,000 people there.
Yeah.
And Shelley and I were sitting right on the second row, and she was brilliant. Of course, she doesn't do anything that's not brilliant. And we went backstage, and I mean, literally, I saw her across the room, and she's like, she comes running over, and she just rattles me. And I just like, all of a sudden, Kristen was, in my arms, and I was like, she just has that ability to pick up like it was yesterday. So, and she, it's a really cute story. And my guitar player, we were playing a show in Oklahoma, and my guitar player came in the tour bus, and he said, hey, I'm dating this girl. I'm going to need some extra security tonight. And I was like, is it Katy Perry? He says, no, you know her. I said, he told me it was Kristen Chenoweth. I said, oh my gosh, that's amazing. So, there was probably, it was just a small little festival. There's probably 2,000 people there.
Yeah. And
she didn't need any security. She sat right down in the middle of all those people and was just singing every word to every song. So
yeah,
it was amazing.
Very special. But I mean, it's a perfect energy, and especially for your projects that you do together, you guys complement each other so well, and it all comes from such a sincere, good place. And you can tell a musician when they're coming from a sincere point of view, or a sincere energy, or if they're just putting on the show or the mask.
Yeah. You know what? And adding her to the element of hosting the Concert for Love and Acceptance with Cody Allen, with the brilliant Jeremy Ryan and Matthew Cooper, all that editing. And it was, CMT came back and said, we didn't understand you guys were doing a TV show. I'm like, well, that's what we did.
Mm-hmm. Nailed it. And I recommend our viewers, you can still go see it, by the way. It premiered June 30th. Huge production. What a great message. And so when we're on the subject, we're in Pride season. You just talked about Cameron Ross kind of coming out. You came out, and when you came out, 2014, it seems like, it's pretty recent, but it's really not in terms of coming out, in terms of visibility of LGBT members in the entertainment. I can't even imagine. I came out late in life, believe it or not. But I can't imagine for you what a monumental choice that was, personally and professionally, because you had all eyes on you, this extensive, successful career, so much at risk. I can't imagine how long that choice must have taken, or what inspired you to make that choice. Can you share a little bit of that?
That's a big question. I mean, I had this amazingly successful career, but something was just so, from addiction to all that stuff, that was just a piece of the pie. And getting to a place of healing was very important to me. And I had gotten to that place. It was so good in my bones, except for the fact that let's just say this left shoulder bone wasn't authentic, and I couldn't do it anymore.
Yeah.
And I called my friend Shelley Wright. I said, tell me how to do this. And she goes, it's not as simple as just making a statement.
No, it's not.
And some of the kids today, it is that simple, because they're queer, they're here, and it's lovely. I think it's a little bit harder when you have an established career and you don't want to lose the integrity of that career, because there is integrity there. There is joy there. There is success there. And you don't want to see, my biggest fear was that it just got flushed.
Yeah.
But I saw that biggest fear with COVID. COVID-19 happened, that everybody's lives were just flushing. You could do a damn thing about it.
Yeah.
We have lifted up and we will survive and we will be amazing because we are the best human hearts on the planet. I just know that we are. I believe in people so much. But I made that choice on November 14th, 2014. And I sat down with Entertainment Tonight and People Magazine and just told my truth. And my partner Matthew was with me, and it was one of the most freeing moments of my life. I woke up that morning incredibly calm. I was like, because I had made the decision that if I never got to sing again, that would be okay. I knew that the universe would take care of me. I would do something that I loved, and if I never got to sing another note in country music, that I would be okay. And I'd come to that peace in my heart and in my brain. And somebody leaked the damn story 2 days early. I woke up to 250 text messages.
Those gossiping gays, I'll tell you.
At 50 text messages. And I was like, okay, that got out real quick. And I tell you, I'd like to say if you put the pie of support there from my industry just alone, it was 99%. There's always going to be haters. And I was protected from the haters for maybe the first 6 months. But I told my team, do not erase anything. I want to see it all. And it took me almost a year to go back, but I answered every one of the hate mails. And I didn't give them a chance to respond back. I just responded with, I'm sorry, your heart is broken. Mine is not. And I love you. Boom, delete.
Well, and it's very interesting you say that because I had the opportunity to go back and visit some of your earliest music videos. YouTube is such a great place for that. And so I got to enjoy some of your earlier works. But it was so interesting to see still the comments, a comment added 2 weeks ago, a month ago, and we're talking on videos that have been up there for more than 10 years.
Yeah.
And if there's one negative comment about, it's still obsessed with your sexuality, even though the music has nothing, it comes from who you are, but it's a universal story. Yeah. And it's so awesome to see for every little comment like that, that's obviously coming from a bad place. And it literally has nothing to do with the work itself. Yeah. You have so many supporters that come in right away from the country music world, from the straight world, from the gay world, and they take care of it. But I think as a whole, and I've seen this in the country music arena because I know many people, performers in the country music world, and they say that it's definitely changing. These are languages or words are now being used properly, and the whole idea is kind of changing. And what I love about the Concert for Love and Acceptance, it's the first time the Academy of Country Music is involved, and you add that kind of that heft to it.
Yeah,
it's like, we really are making progress. How did that partnership finally seal the deal on that?
I'll go back just a little ways.
Yeah.
To say that there have been times that my fans, not just my fans, but all the affirming hearts and fans of country music, I have almost kind of felt sorry for the haters.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
girl, they got owned.
You girl put the ease up. What y'all doing? Okay, I don't got to say nothing. I'm sorry. They just shaved your head. But that's, I believe in love, and I do, and I know that, people that I call them hate searchers.
Yeah.
And people that want to search out and do something that's hateful, it's because they're broken and they're hurting. And if not, and they're just, as grandma used to say, they're just of the pure devil. So if you have the pure devil, you're going away from us. We don't want to do that. But the Academy of Country Music, they've always supported me greatly. So has the CMAs. I've been treated very well in this industry. And so I'm just trying to pay that forward, with artists like Brandon Stansel and Harper Gray, Shelley Fairchild, and Cameron, all these kids that are coming out now, they're being very brave. And I feel like maybe some of them have heard something I said because they're like concentrating on their careers. They're concentrating on their music.
Yeah.
They're concentrating on telling their stories through music, and the rest falls in place. It always does. And so, and I see these guys being successful, and just not even really having to swim upstream that much anymore. They're surrounded by people that just respect them. And so I think that's the important story right there, that these guys are being heard and they're being seen.
But you have to give yourself credit, because it's for trailblazers like you that were willing to take the chance and use your platform to vocally speak out. It's because of that. There's a lot of homework that's been done for the rest of the generation that's now enjoying that. And even now, with our current political and social climate kind of being tested again, which I'm almost glad for, because we have a younger generation that's becoming politically involved, and we're realizing kind of this happy bubble, the Will and Grace bubble is what I call it, where everything is funny and everything's cool to hang out with, and we have funny one-liners. You pop that bubble, and there's a lot still out there, and there's still a lot of work to be done.
Absolutely. That was well said, by the way. Yes.
Thank you, Ty. Write a song about it. I'll have some writing credit. So, but I want to know what your personal coming out story is.
Well, for me, I almost lost my life because I wanted so desperately to be in an industry that, I'm going to age myself again. I grew up, watching Dukes of Hazzard and
So did I, for different reasons.
and watching the CMA Awards with Tammy Wynette and George Jones, and knowing I was different, and going, I don't think I can ever get there. It doesn't matter how talented I am. I'm broken. And, that was the message that I played in my head almost my entire life. So much so that it led me to almost losing my life, not once, but twice. And so my coming out story was, I don't really like labels. I've never been that guy, because I believe we're, like my grandma said, we're all just, we're 1,000 hearts on the table. But what I've learned is that we are forced into the corner sometimes. And when we do have to, I've fought so long, so hard, just to be, as my nephew said, Uncle Ty, you're just a plain old gay guy. I was like, how long I've waited to hear that, dude? He's 17. He's like, you're just a plain old gay guy. Yeah. Because these kids today, they have all the, I call it now LGBTQ A B C D F G plus.
But that's exactly what I say. I say it's like the Campbell's alphabet soup can.
It is, and so and we want to recognize all of those, of course. But that was a great compliment from my nephew, by the way, Jackson. Yes. Thank you, Jackson. But I think for your question, about my own personal coming out story, for me, it was a matter of saving my own life. And I had to do that in order to be on this planet and be happy and not be ashamed anymore. So the shame was causing me disgrace, and the disgrace was causing me to not want to live. And erasing that, there is healthy shame, it shouldn't be about who you are and your blood and bones.
And do you think your sobriety kind of helped you kind of become a healthier person to get to that point?
Oh, absolutely, man. I always recommend this for anybody. Hey, if you're, if you're having too many Cosmos and you're not remembering work the next day, maybe you should have one less. But save it for the weekend. I think clarity is a good thing in any situation, especially if you're running a business. I'm running a foundation. And doing my own record label, I'm doing, and working with these kids. And I think just for me, it's just about clarity. It's, how do I say this? It has been my privilege to be able to be clear and say what I need to say and not question a thing about it. And being educated, because I tell these kids to educate themselves. I'm 58 years old and I'm still educating myself every day. So just being clear, that's what that's about for me.
Girl, and I don't know if it's a sobriety, but you make it look good.
Come here.
Oh, please. I'm schnitzing over here. Now, do you think because, taking sides is a thing now, and we want as much visibility for LGBT or any minority group, really. But do you think celebrities should be pressured to come out, or do you think celebrities should be outed?
No, I don't think that. No, I don't think you should. I think you should be good in your bones, whatever that means to you.
Yeah.
If you want to be out, because being out comes with, actually, to be honest with you, it comes with a lot of work. It comes with a lot of responsibility if you're on the celebrity side of it. And I think outing is the worst thing anyone could ever do to anyone, because you're not giving them the privilege to grow. And I think once that you get the opportunity to figure that out for yourself, then you're definitely going to help a lot of other people. But if you're forced into it, you're not going to help a damn person. It's going to be just a terrible thing. And I don't think anyone should ever have that. And I've talked to people that have been outed, kids, that causes suicide in schools. It's just, respect people's boundaries with that. And if, there's not only mean kids, there's mean adults. Don't be mean girls, kids.
Yeah. Unless you're in the musical, then
exactly.
Okay, so Ty, I want you to be really, really honest. So you come out, and I know what that means. All of the gay organizations, papers, prides, every gay organization from huge ones to smalls, like, oh, now you're part of us. It's like you're the new patron saint. And so it's like, oh God, all of these opportunities, but all of this, being approached by so many gay outlets. How did you kind of counteract that? And I don't mean it in a negative way, but sometimes it's like, okay, now everything is gay. And how did you counteract that? It's like, well, I also want to be part of mainstream media, and not every story has to be about my coming out, and not every performance I need to do needs to be at a pride.
Yes. That was, thank God I have an amazing team that helped me navigate those waters, because I didn't want anyone to feel alienated.
See, that's just it. And you don't want to piss off, the wrong group.
I wanted everyone to feel celebrated, yet maintain the integrity of what I was doing in country music. What I found out was that I didn't have to maintain any kind of integrity. It was maintained for me. The fans, the media, record label, everybody was holding that to high esteem. So, but I have to be honest with you, the very first Pride that I played, they sandwiched me in between. I'm like, they're going to hate me. And I'm going out there just thinking my little country.
Excuse me. We did not hate it. I was in that audience, by the way, and it was glamorous. That was like everybody's favorite sandwich. It's like, I will be in that sandwich. I'll be a condiment on that sandwich.
That's the first time I met Frankie Grande too. And he showed up backstage, and he was painted from glitter. Glitter. And he gave me a big hug.
He's that way every day, by the way. He's that way at CVS. I will let everybody know.
I remember walking out on stage, and I looked down at I was just full of glitter. And I was like, okay, hey.
That's how you know if he's been cheating on his significant other or not, is you see glitter in random places. But Frankie also is very honest about his sober journey, and he's enjoying his sobriety, and he's very open about that. So this is just a fun little thing. Did your DMs, like when you came out, did they just fill with all kinds of advances, shall we say?
I will tell you that I blushed a little.
Yeah.
There were, and not only just messages, there were pictures. I was like,
Carl, that's like a normal thing. So I have to just tell you something funny. My ex sent you a message. He's a huge country music fan. And he sent his own message of his own. He was so excited I was talking to you tonight.
Listen, my DMs kind of look like Tumblr before it changed.
Yeah. What made you choose GLAAD as one of your major organizations to partner with?
I would say this: I didn't choose GLAAD; they chose me, because I had no idea what I was doing. To be honest with you, and the amazing Sarah Kate Ellis and the amazing Zeke Stokes reached out to my management and said, his message is something that we would love to carry with him, not for him, but with him. And he is now my manager. That's how.
Oh wow! Yeah,
has progressed. We have a production company to working on new music, executive producer of along with me for the Concert for Love and Acceptance. So GLAAD's been amazing. Human rights campaign.
Yeah.
Gosh, Molly Levin and Dana Goldberg. They're just I got a family I didn't know that I would ever have in some of these organizations. It just continue. We continue to support each other and do amazing things.
So you did mention before, and I have to apologize to our viewers and listeners. I'm very sorry, but Ty does have a boo.
I can hear him in there doing dishes right now. Yeah, he's like,
good.
We had friends over tonight. He's in there doing dishes.
What's it like being quarantined with your boo? Do you have any survival tips for couples that are shut in together?
Yeah, put the guns away. No, we do pretty good. He's been renovating this house, and so it's been fun to kind of watch him work. And I've kind of been his handyman these last few months. And
I saw that movie too. Okay.
Yeah. You didn't see that version.
I want to talk about your album, Got It Covered. It must have been such a trip for you. Your personal life, your musical life definitely has obviously had major changes since you first released those songs. Tell me what it was like revisiting those songs.
Well, it was the 25th anniversary of What Mattered Most.
Yeah.
And I think if you count the number of times I say she in that song, I think it's like 36. So, and I loved it. I mean, that gave me my career. I mean, it was a 3-week Billboard #1 record. And, but for the anniversary, I needed to practice what I preached with the kids that I talked to. And I thought, what a beautiful way just to go back and change the pronouns in it. So I started that album with the new version, and I closed it with a new version of the old version. So it was sandwiched in this beautiful, it actually is, other than an obscure album that probably nobody ever picked up, an album called Right About Now that I did. It would probably be my favorite album that I've done, just because I got to we're talking about rehabbing a house. I got to rehab the songs and just kind of give an old friend a facelift.
Ty, what's a moment from stage that you remember that everything just hit you, like it was the perfect mixture of either the audience or the setting, or you were in really good voice? Is there one performance that really, really sticks out for you?
Well, there's so many over the years, but one recently was the Los Angeles LGBTQ Center. I think it was their 50th anniversary. And I got to walk out on that stage with a sold out crowd. And I started What Mattered Most with the old version. And there were, you could literally see people going,
yeah,
why is he saying it that way? And then I stopped. And I told him a little bit of my story about that song. And I said, now, I know there's a lot of kids. I said, now I'm going to sing it for you the way that I wish I could have sang it then. And the intro started again. And, gosh, it was almost a Grammy moment. People just came to their feet. And I was kind of shocked at, that song, 25 years old, that 3,800 people were singing it at the top of their lungs. I was a little shocked about that, to be honest with you. But just a testament to a great song. I mean, it wasn't even really about me at that point. And I mean that. It was just about an incredibly great song, and that had a new moment. It had wings.
We're going to take a peek at your video, So Small. And I want you to tell me a little bit about the creative process behind it, and what it means to you.
Oh, sure. You taking a peek now, or do you want me to talk?
Oh, no. Yeah. Talk, and then we're going to take a little peek at the video.
Well, I'm a huge Carrie fan. She's also a friend. And I was thinking about getting a real estate license because I thought, nobody cares about this anymore, And that song came on the radio. And I was actually sitting in the parking lot about to walk into a real estate class that I had paid for already.
Wow.
And I said, if I can do music like that and music that matters like that, it was, the universe kind of spoke to me. And a year later, I had a Grammy nomination with the album Journey On. So, but Carrie Underwood's So Small saved me from a life of real estate. All you realtors out there.
Thank you, Jesus. You know, it's funny. I have a lot of realtor friends in LA that sing as well. It's like, are you putting out an album or selling a house? I don't know what you're doing. Welcome to LA, right?
Right.
All right, let's take a little peek. Let's take a peek at So Small. And I love this video. And when we come back, we are going to play a little rapid fire with Mr. Ty Herndon. All right, let's take a peek at So Small.
Sometimes that mountain you've been climbing is just a grain of sand. And what you've been out there searching for forever is in your hands. Oh, and when you figure out love is all that matters after all, it sure makes everything else. Oh, it sure makes everything else seem so small.
Oh, those
What I
babies.
love about your voice, I love you obviously have the country flair, but your upper notes are like velvet that just, oh my God. Woo, girl, I'm getting, well, okay. Anyway. All right, we're going to play a little rapid fire.
Did you see did you see all those pretty babies? They're just,
Yeah.
they're my babies. Yes, they got to paint their own faces, so it was kind of fun. So rapid fire.
Oh, okay, a little rapid fire. Okay, the strangest country music title you remember hearing?
The straightest country music title I remember hearing. I got friends in low places.
Someone offers you $1 million to sing a duet with the Tiger King. What's the name of the song?
Whose bed have your boots been under?
What is the worst or most awkward celebrity meeting you've had?
Oh, the worst or best? You said.
No, worst or like most awkward. Like it just didn't go as planned.
Oh gosh. Okay, it was really awkward, but I loved it. It was Dolly Parton. It was really awkward. Only awkward because I'd never met her, and she came over to me, and I didn't go over to her. She came over to me, and she goes, "I loved your song," and Dolly Parton singing to me, "Her eyes are blue, her hair is long." I was like, I couldn't say a word, so it was very awkward. So I was like, that was it.
Yeah, that's like a moment. It's like, yeah, you're good. You made it. What's the strangest backstage habit or superstition you have before a show?
Oh gosh, I won't step over any cracks. This is American Indian in me, and my guitar player picked up an upside down penny, a tails up penny, before a show one time, and I screamed at him. I'm like,
my God.
"You pick that up after the show. Don't pick that up before." And it's so weird. I just the other night, Matthew put, because we're in this old but new house, and he's got a jar of pennies that he's using because one of the doors won't stay open. So he's got a jar it's full of pennies, and I've kicked it over twice, and it's very hard for me to pick up all those coins. I'm like, okay, I got to get through this because it's like so stupid, So I kicked him over last night. I still haven't picked him up.
Well, hey, maybe last time was when your truck got stolen.
What?
A country music hit from the past you wish you could go back in time and be the original singer.
Shania Twain's duet. Oh gosh. You're still the one. You're still the one I run to. One that I belong to. One that I've been for life. I love that song.
Oh God, I've got the chills again. Okay, who is your celebrity hall pass?
I think he's listening in there. I just had him on the show. And he's also my friend. But who would? I mean, Matt Bomer. Come on, come on.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I will give you that.
I love you, Matt, if you're watching. It's not like that.
Hey, what's a little massage between friends? Ty, tell our viewers and listeners where they can find you, follow you, and appreciate you.
Wow. Well, I always just say go to tyherndon.com. It's
a great website.
There. Yep. And just, from websites to upcoming events, we just relaunched kind of the old-fashioned fan club. It's called Patreon. So it's on the website, and they just get all kind of exclusive content. It's pretty cool. But, we're social media hoes today, y'all. Just, just Google it.
It has been such a joy. I'm glad we finally connected. Like I said, thank you for everything you've done for the community. And I do consider you one of our trailblazers, making it possible for artists like Cameron Ross to come out in a safe place. So thank you for that. Well, and folks, that's all. It's always a grab bag of fun every week on The Rocks. Give us a like, a subscribe, a share. Head to ontherocksradioshow.com for all of this fun for free. Next week, we welcome Golden Globe and Emmy nominee, TV icon Wendy Malick is on the show. Mm-hmm. And later this month, Harvey Guillen from FX's hot show, What We Do in the Shadows. And hopefully we will be back in the studio soon. And if Ty is visiting LA and we're allowed to, of course he's going to come in the studio and we're going to have some more fun. So until next week, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay sexy.
You got it, baby. You too.
Bye, Ty.
Bye, darling. We'll talk to you soon.
This has been another episode of On The Rocks. Tweet me and slide into my DMs on Twitter and Instagram at On The Rocks On Air. Find everything On The Rocks for free at ontherocksradioshow.com. Subscribe, like, review, and share. Until next week, stay fabulous.